Sally Jameson, what sort of reaction have you had in your constituency this weekend to what the Chancellor announced this week?
Well, look, the world has changed significantly, and we face a number of threats from people like Vladimir Putin and what's going on in Ukraine, and globally generally. And so what Rachel Reeves has done is react to that. And what we've seen, as we heard just then in that clip, is massive investment in infrastructure. So she's put £2.2 billion investment into defence, not only just to create the jobs of the future, jobs for people here in Yorkshire and across the country, but actually also to make sure that this country is safe going forward.
Little consolation, of course, if you're going to lose your job at British Steel in Scunthorpe, but we'll come on to that another time. Serious question, if somebody comes to you as a local MP and says, I've been on long-term benefits, for whatever reason I can't work, but I'm going to lose my welfare, certainly some of my benefit payments, what's your advice to them?
Well, there's a consultation going on at the minute in the Green Paper that Liz Kendall, the Secretary of State for Work and Pensions, announced last week. And so what I'm doing now, and what I'd advise people like that and charities to do, is to feed into that consultation so the department understand the different things going on in different people's lives, and that will help shape the policy going forward. What I think is important to note with the welfare announcement is we have 1 in 8 young people in this country who are not in work, education or employment. We cannot allow a generation of young people to be just cast out and ignored in that way, and it's absolutely crucial that we get on top of that and give them the opportunities to go to work, and also the support they need to do it as well.
Many adults, for whatever reason, may choose not to work, but we're hearing that 50,000 children could be plunged into poverty. Now, who's standing up for them in Parliament?
Well, I think we will all be standing up for them, and there is a child poverty task force that will be coming out later this year, which is going to have a new set of policies about what this government is going to do to tackle child poverty more widely. But there's other things we've done as well, for example, increasing the minimum wage, because one thing I've noticed when I've visited food banks in my constituency is there's a number of people there who are using the services who are in work, who are employed and are still living below the breadline, and so increasing the national minimum wage and really making work pay, I think it's going to make a massive difference to a lot of household incomes going forward.
Well, we asked North Yorkshire Conservative MP Kevin Hollinrake whether he supports the government welfare cuts.
You cannot have a situation where 1 in 4 working age adults are not working in a country where you want to see economic growth. That's clearly bad for the taxpayer, and it's bad for those people who are not working. So yes, as far as it goes, we had a much more ambitious plan. But let's face this is exactly what is happening here. This is a very rushed approach by the government. It had no plans to do this in its manifesto. It's had to do this, resort to this, because it's scuppered completely growth in our economy. The economy was growing very quickly in July when it took over stewardship of the economy. It was the fastest growing in the G7. It's now the slowest growing, and that's because Rachel Reeves has made a complete hash of running the economy. She taught the economy down for 6 months, then whacked it with £25 billion annually of business taxes, and then's got planning this huge amount of new employment red tape in the rights bill, which has got businesses very, very nervous about the future and very uncertain. So it really is a panic measure because of some very poor choices by the Chancellor.
Is Rachel Reeves panicking because of the poor choices she's making?
No, absolutely not. She's clearing up the mess left by the last lot, frankly. They didn't sort out the issues in the social security system, and we are, because we won't see a generation of young people left without opportunities. And that's what the last government did, and frankly, it's some gall to hear a Conservative MP within the last government blame us when we've been in power for 8 months for their mistakes, and we're getting to grips with the mess that was left. And we're also making sure this country is fit for the future, because that's just critical as well. It's not just dealing with the spending that's happening right now. It's making sure that going forward we have the jobs and the public services that people in this country want and deserve.
Well, we'll see. We'll